Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. And here we are, just getting ready here in just a moment. Hello there, Paul. Good to see you as ever. Okay. Right here, there we go. Boom bada boom. So I need to actually go ahead and turn off the game capture rights off for the moment. That's good. Otherwise it will zoom in. Though sometimes it's kind of handy actually, so I will bear that in mind actually. Just been handy for some of these like pop-ups. But what I've gone and done here then is actually got the tracker up, so I'm going to go ahead and read the turn as it is at the moment. I found it's actually quite nice to have like the first session we focus on the actual game as such, and then we take a look at the tracker. I think things run a little bit smoother like that. Then we'll get a better feel for what's going on here. Okay. Let's take a look. So, current turn. Of course, the airfield has expanded to Port Arthur. The perpetual complaints about vehicle assembly, okay. I need to run some supply convoys to Davao and a number of other ports, actually. Need to have those run up there. So, the Maryland. Enemy ship falsely reported sunk. Not exactly shocked. Zuho has been resized. Okay. Bihoro has had her fortifications increased, which is good to see. We do capture the base of Santa Maria. Very good to see. Okay, so we can see these assets are moving, of course. And 61st Sentai. Skill has increased there for Kizuka. Or Kizuka? Kazuka. I'm going to go with Kazuka. Very good to see that. So we'll move on now to the industry. Okay, so we did turn. Thank you very much for Anonymous? Anonymous. As could be one of those I'm going to fail to pronounce all the goddamn time, but thank you very much for the follow there, my friend. So there, Iceycrome. I tell you what, Iceycrome, you know what? You really do remind me of the film Mad Max, because I just feel like you're just going to, like, say, witness me. Like, you're all icy and chrome. Oh, dear. I don't know if I thought much to the actual last Mad Max. It's... The supposed main lead was just entirely bloody silent for the most part. Okay, yeah. So I've turned off the merchant yards. I've turned off the armoured production for the time being. So as you can see, we do have a big pool of heavy industry points here to work with, which is quite nice. I also want to get that stockpiled. All these points need to be stockpiled for the future. We'll go ahead and take a look at the actual global, well, the actual chart over here. What I want to do then is we'll bring the chart up as such. I'm going to tell you right now, they're unanimous. I'm going to just constantly mispronounce that. It's going to be one of those things. It is my bane. I appreciate the follow, but it is a bane. It is going to be consistent. Good evening to you as well. Yeah, the classic ones. I mean, there's a massive departure, isn't there, from the classic Mad Max films to the most current one. Okay, what I want to do here then is, let's see, if I turn the game capture on. Come on. Come on, game capture me. And let's see if I can do that again. Come on. When it loads. No, not doing it, okay. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It's strange like that. Can I go to the properties here? I wonder... I can't full screen you. That's a shame. I was hoping I could figure out how to actually manipulate that system, but that's fine, that's fine. Okay, so what I want to go ahead here and do... Can I not make... Yeah, I can make it a bit bigger. Ah, doesn't do that much, does it? No. Okay, so we can see here... This is when we had the shortfall of heavy industry, and again about here as well. So it looks as though obviously this is when we had our issues with resources. And then once again over here. Now we did have that decline, but obviously since then we have been really rocking up. Then again, actually no, I'm going to say that's from where we started armoured production once again. If we take a look. Yeah, so that's where we started the armoured production once again. Now obviously we have since stopped that, so it's going to plateau for the moment. You can see that we've stopped that about 32. which is obviously we can see this increasing. Good to see. We'll take a look at the resources in the Japanese islands. Home island. If only that would be larger. So you can see here that we're once again in the downtick phase of the resources. Does seem to be some sort of pattern emerging. I really do want to see an actual pattern here emerge, and then at least it becomes predictable. When it becomes predictable, it becomes reliable. And that's what I want to see here. Supply has continued to go down here, but I'm going to assume that is obviously due to the fact that we are obviously, a lot more of the R&D is actually in production now. A lot of these bases are receiving the amount of supply that they should have been allocated. So I'm going to say that is just some of the latent supply usage. Okay, so fuel obviously continues to tick down at the moment. We do still have quite a while of fuel, but we do not have an infinite amount. It's very much finite. You can see here that resources, 4.6, yeah, 4.6 seems to be our golden number for the time being. 2.5 million tons of oil. We did have an uptick over here though. You can see here from 42 to 43 it was near enough. Yeah, we did have a small increase. But obviously since then it has been used. Okay. Now in China. We see here the amount of supply has increased. Obviously that is due to the fact that the supply is... well, the resources are making it to where they need to go. Obviously to centers of production, which is obviously very nice. You can see here that resources continue to increase. And also this is when we basically hit the brick wall over here where it's like, yeah, we can't load anymore. Shame I didn't load 39. We do have a very good picture of what's going on for the most part. I'm going to go ahead and take a look now at bases. I like how, as time has gone on, we've actually learned how to use this tracker more so, which is nice. What's up there, Racer? How are you doing there, my friend? You make my heart race. Right, well, probably not looking at Africa. Right, now go Japan, okay. Gifu obviously complained as per usual. It may very well be, but it's only Gifu now that requires that. So yes, we can see that it's staying solid then at 9175. Obviously there was a very large uptick there near, well, around about 6,000 plus tons of supply there. So that's very good to see. We are nearly there. I do need to move a garrison to these bases over here, actually. Most definitely. Okay. We're going to move on now. See, LCU production is one that I need to take a closer look at. And we're going to go ahead and take a look now at ship production, actually. So, status. Naval. Now, supposedly we're looking at the 19th there of February. I want to see what the game actually says. It seems about right, actually. I'm looking at June there for Hio. Now that's showing me April. So, delay I assume is days. How you doing there, geezer? It's good to have you as always. Okay, I wonder if this is going to give us a better clue here. So of course we're in January right now. January 20th. I do believe. It does seem roundabout accurate then. So, I mean, if this is correct then, so if we are going indeed by the accelerated delay, which does make sense. So looking about 30 days here for the Yunyo, about 75 days for the Hio. Shoho is obviously going to be arriving very shortly. She's currently on, supposedly then, I do wonder if she was shifted to accelerated, how that would look. She might even know. I mean, I'd love to see that. What I'm going to do here then, I've not made any changes as of yet. So I'm going to go ahead and see what happens if I do place the Shoho on accelerated. Does this change? No, of course it bloody doesn't. I'm going to reload the game here, just make sure that nothing has changed. Now, I have made some changes off-cam, actually, and I will go through those and make sure you guys are aware. As you can see here, I did have a fantastic discussion with the user, Infinite Monkey, very knowledgeable about the game. And a very helpful chap as well. Very nice of him to actually volunteer his time and knowledge of the game to help me out, and to help us out in general. So, very much appreciated. Okay. Back to the chart we go. But I think this is around about accurate. I will be very interested to actually see how that looks. Because as far as it goes in-game, it's showing me 60 days. But we are accelerated. I think that's going to be the big one there, isn't it? Because if this is actually showing us the incorrect date and basically showing us the date at which they are just going to arrive at normal pace, it will be rather intriguing then. We'll be able to get a better idea of when ships will arrive. But even so, we are looking at her arriving within, well, I mean, this is it. It's either a month and a quarter-ish. Well, about a month, really, isn't it? It's either about a month, or we are looking at 2 months. I'd very much rather have her a month early, if possible. We'll have to see. Thank you very much for Naksh 732. So Knight 732. I'm just going to call you Knight. But yeah, a ship does arrive early. What we are going to have to do then is basically have these guys work. Well, they're going to have to go on a workup cruise, really. So what we'll probably have her do then is make her way down to potentially a truck of some nature, maybe another island, and have her complete her training. Basically have the crew work up. Hello there, good to have you as always. But she will arrive, and she is going to come there with a nice capacity, about 53. She doesn't have a huge amount in terms of torpedo capacity, but her speed is fantastic. And it's going to be very interesting. The captain there... We'll have to see how good he is. But we can see there that the cruise experience will be 66 in the day and 60 at night. But yeah, we'll definitely have to make sure they are worked up. We'll use the Yunya with the Mini Kitabutai because she's slow to counter the Royal Navy's CVs. See, that's a good question there, for. Welcome, by the way, Saul. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think speed is that much of a factor in our strategy, really. Now, it might sound odd, but the reason I say that is, as far as we go, as far as I'm concerned, we do have a solid line of ascent. We must finish our conquest of the Coral Sea here. That's what I'm aiming to do here, is to finish the conquest of the Coral Sea area. Afterwards, well, during that time, we're going to tend to take Lord Howe, Norfolk, and Rabaul Islands. If I can take these islands, I will be in a good spot. I will be looking at cracking Fiji with a division or 2 divisions. But I think as far as it goes, I don't think speed is really that much of a... Yeah, I don't think it matters that much in reality. I think it's one of these things of... I think it very much comes down to the doctrine I have in mind for them. I don't think speed is a massive issue. I think it's one of those things, if I need the speed, I can achieve it. But I think, as far as it goes for me, force concentration outweighs the benefit of speed many times over. If I accept the threat of slower speed, that does mean that I can actually have them operate alongside the Yamato and the Musashi super heavies. What is the cruise speed of her and your slow CV? We'll take a quick look again. So, too much what I'm going to do here is bring it up in the tracker, makes for easier comparison, to be honest. So ship classes, we're going to go CVs, we're going to go to Imperial Japanese Navy, we're going to go to available. Well, obviously that's what's available now, so we'll go to all. Right, sort by type. Right, so her maximum speed is 25, her cruise speed is 15. Compare that to... So that's basically her full speed and mission speed. Okay. Right. There we go. So Akagi. Oh, so this is 1941 variant. Yeah, so Akagi is looking at 31 and 16 crews. Karga 1428. Hiru 3415. Soru 3415. Shikaku 3415. She's honestly not that... Yeah, it's fine. I think it's absolutely fine. They have a similar cruise speed. I just think the... I think the loss of 5 knots is acceptable, really. We've already lost speed due to the systems damage and etc. So we're not quite the sharp knife that we once were. But that's fine by me. So, if we go by the chart once again... And if indeed the Hyo, or Hayo, will arrive in 75 days rather than the 149, so we can expect her sometime around April, supposedly. That would be quite nice. In fact, it'd be excellent. It will be excellent. Let's take a look at the accelerated delay. Obviously, there's only 2 accelerated, well, sorry, 3 accelerated here. Ryuho. Yeah, so they only move it as the speed of a slow ship. Now, I do have the light carrier here on accelerated. Is that the best choice there? A Yoda. Well, Oyodo. Let's see, so in here then, if I was to return her to normal, does that change this? I'm just going to quickly look there. Doesn't seem to change the date. What does this button do? Oh, okay. Oh, right, there we go. That's what I need. Okay. So. If we take a look over here then. So her normal date of arrival is the 21st of March 1942. She'll arrive here on the 19th of February. Perhaps trial Yunyo by using her in the China front. Possibly. And it's one of these things. It's a month now for the Junyo, Bunyo. I don't know how the hell you pronounce it. I'm going to continuously mispronounce it. Wait 1 second. I'm just going to go get it up. So 2 seconds. Two seconds here. Okay. Two secs, guys.
Junyo.
There we go, the Junyo.
Junyo.
Perfect.
Hio.
There we go, Junyo and Hio. There we go, perfect. Okay. So we can see there. Right, okay, I'm glad about this. Indeed. Okay, so 4th of April. Very nice, actually. So that's quite good then. So we will have you see if you were accelerated now, you would arrive on the 23rd of January. You over here, 9th of June 42 rather than October. That's a big old difference there. Is it perhaps worthwhile though for a light carrier? I am kind of tempted by these this Oyodo and the Agano. I mean, 15cm guns, that's no joke for a light cruiser. And the Oyodo is a larger ship, definitely, 10,000 tons. 7590 there. You do come with a radar. You do not come with radar. It might be worth our time to potentially bring the Yagumo class. 15th of Feb. There's not much in that way, really. I only have 14 points of the pool here, that's the issue. How many dockyard points? So, 1384. I currently need 1399, which leaves me... I don't know, I think we gain just a couple of points there. I don't know, sometimes it seems a little bit strange here. I am somewhat tempted to actually accelerate the construction of the Yagumo class. Is that worthwhile? 2,600 tons. 3,400 tons. Speed is exactly spectacular. Endurance is significantly higher though for this class. The Akatsuki. She does have the 12cm guns though. That's a big old gun. 10cm guns. She does have more in the way of a main battery. Can you expand the production of your dockyard? We could. We could. But it's one of these things of heavy industry costs, isn't it? The reason why the cost is so high, while the amount of usage is so high, is because I'm accelerating large ships as well. AADDs, okay, well, that's good to know. So they're dual-purpose guns. Okay, that's very good to know there. Hello there, Sal. How you doing there, my friend? Okay. I mean, what I'm interested in here mainly is a radar. She doesn't arrive for quite some time, so if she was to be accelerated, she could arrive in August 42 rather than 28th of February 43. But that's a long-term cost investment there. It's a question of, is it worthwhile? Yahagi. She's a Nagano, she does come with the radar. Now, thankfully, these bad boys are produced using the merchants. I do wonder if I could, if they're using merchant yard points, could I actually accelerate them? We can see that would quite quickly drain the pool there. So they'll be looking at 65 days. 159 days. But they'd still arrive in 42. 42. Yeah, I mean, torpedoes are amazing. I suppose the thing is, it's really like, how often are they going to get that chance to lay down those torpedoes? It's one of these things, isn't it? The AA armament, well, complement suit, whatever you want to call it, the AA suite would obviously be a better thing. I might take a look at actually accelerating the construction of the Unyo. See, that's a lot of points, and obviously I'm not producing the merchant points. I do have a pool of 4,087, also I only have 14 points in this naval pool at the moment. So that would drain it at a rate about 571 per turn. Whereas at the moment, it is only draining at a rate of 465. It's not a big leap. But it does mean that I'm going to have to turn that production back on. So the question comes down to, like, what's worth more? I think as far as it goes, I'm going to leave this as is. So let's see here then. I'm going to go to merchants. Right, I do have another seaplane carrier. Now this might be more worthwhile, due to the fact that we can actually have converted into light carriers. So I'd be looking at... she's only 19 days away. But that's... kind of like a no-brainer. How much would that be? Takes us up to 541. I am tempted to actually accelerate the construction of certain classes of ship, actually. Ah, thank you very much, Venom Rescue. Much appreciated. Yeah, I know, right. Okay, I'm kind of tempted by that. I mean, what's the, figuring out how many days we have before we have to restart the production anyway. So we will have to restart the production, it is a matter of time till we have to. So let's go ahead and figure that one out then, shall we? I tell you what, you know what, guys, I really fucking love this shit. I don't know what it is about this, but this, This is my jam. Like, I don't. You guys have got to feel the same. You know, when you having to make these choices, it's just like, oh, I love this game. God, it feels great. I just wish there was more like this. I wish there was more choices. I'm not gonna lie, I've been looking at the RHS mod. I'm gonna be taking a look into that one. I might do like a single player playthrough, or maybe see if I can like contemplate into doing like a game of that. But I really love the fact that I'm learning more about the game. Really love that. So, just so much fun. 4. How many merchant points would you produce in a day? Yeah, this is it. Obviously, we'll work that out. I'll have a look at how many points I'm going to burn here at the moment. So, under normal conditions, then, let's see. So, this is all... Right, okay, turn you down to normal. So, a normal day, we are burning 465 per day. So, let's take a look. The pool currently stands at 4807. 4087, I should say. So 4087 divided by 465. And we're looking at about around about 8 days. So around about 8 days then. So yeah, it's one of these, isn't it? It just, yeah, that's fine. We've turned off the armoured production, so we are taking from one hand to pay the other. But at least we can do that in the meantime. So if I was to go back then to our industry... So I believe I'd produce 620 points. Oh, that's armament, sorry. Oh, God. So I might produce about 807. Okay, what I'm going to look at doing then is, let's go into the actual game here. We'll go to the actual industry. So merchant yard. So I do have a repair shipyard I do need to finish off at Tokyo. You don't need to be prepared. Yeah, but I did have... I mean, I expended a lot of supply to do this. I will... Perhaps I should start working on that. I think we'll start working on that again. The reason being I do need to have a repair shipyard in Tokyo to convert ships in the future, so I might as well continue doing that. We do have a size 22 at the moment. So we'll get that underway. Now, merchant yards. So we'll turn production on. Now, we're looking down here. So, actual production. So, we do indeed produce 807 points. Now, how does that look actually on our heavy industry? So, heavy industry, actual production. Okay, don't forget it affects it as of this moment here. But... Right, there we go. So 2,421. Which is fuck all. Yeah, that's fuck all. Okay, so we'll have 807 points to work with. So we'll go back to our ship production. Okay. So normal conditions then. So what did I say? 807 was it? So 807 I think. We'll go back. So we're looking at 807, okay. So 807 minus currently 465 leaves us with about 342 points to play with. So we'll continue to work this out then. Okay. Right. We'll sort by class. Or can I sort by type? That'd be nice. I suppose we'll sort by date of arrival. Looks like landing barges, but I don't know when they're going to arrive. 15th of February at High Law? I don't know whereabouts that is, actually. You have to win the war fast. Getting 2 CVs fast will help. It definitely would be quite nice, because I could spend longer training up those. It just means more airframes out there, really. Okay, so let's see here. If I place you... I'm very interested in the actual seaplane cruisers, due to the fact that I can actually have them converted in December. Though, question is, she's going to arrive 27th of February. She'd arrive there instead of the 8th of February. It's only a difference of about... I think what I need to do here then is focus on rather key ships. The landing ship dock. I think she does deserve to be accelerated. The reason being is having another landing ship dock 33 days from now. That's going to be very handy. I mean, that gives me the ability to drop even more troops very quickly. So we could potentially even have her, maybe, in availability for the Fiji operations, which is going to come up pretty soon. So she should arrive there on the 22nd of February. So let's see, how much is she going to take? Takes us to 517, so 517. That leaves us 290 points to play with. Okay. Now let's take a look at the CVEs. $623. 184 points here. Yeah, no, 27 knots is incredible. It is crazy. Okay, so 729. Leaves us only 78 points remaining. So obviously not enough there to do much more. But I could accelerate. See, the reason, well, the rationale I have here is obviously she's going to be arriving pretty soon anyway. So there's no need to rush. We're going to be having her converted to a light carrier in December anyhow. So it's not like a major rush. I obviously do need to get the shipyard worked up to size as well. But she could have an immediate effect. I mean, that's going to be nice to see. Oh, maneuver speed 27. So I think this is the right decision. Accelerate both of them. So we'll be looking at an arrival there 26th of March, 42. Looking at June 42. Okay. I think that might be the right move. The chart is on... Oh. Oh, you're right then, aren't you? Oh, there we go. Okay, now it should be on the actual screen. Sorry about that, I didn't realise. Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah. That's my bad, I forgot about that. Okay, we'll accelerate her. Kitsuma route. Oh, thank you so very much, Fair Spartan. Really appreciate my dude. Right, okay. So that takes us up to the 729 as we saw. So we do still have some points to play with here. Still have some of those. Now it does make me wonder, what is the actual cost here to accelerate the other landing ship docks? Is it worth it? That's good to have you, man. That's really appreciate my dude. Now the question, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? I don't know what the actual point cost would be. 755. I could manage that. It's here somewhere. Right, landing ship dock. Same class survey, Kitsuma room. So if we take a look over here then, so obviously she is going to arrive now the 22nd of February. We're looking at 23rd of September here, she's accelerated. Rather than 27th of May 43. I don't think that's worthwhile. I think the thing is, it's I prefer Fortitude because I can control Fortitude far easier than I can control 43. And it is a long time expenditure there. I think what I'll do then is I'll stick with what we've got here for the time being. Unless I can have anything else produced under the merchants, that would be useful. Landing barges, of course. I mean, additional escort carriers. We never get that many escort carriers, do we? Let's go to all. Right, class. There we go. No, it really is appreciated, Paul. Really is. I mean, how it works with Twitch is you have to wait to get $100 before you get paid. Google's different. In fact, with Google, you have to. Well, it's dollars, so I don't know what the actual. I can't remember what the actual equivalent is at the moment in pounds. But for Google, you have to wait to get £60 before you get paid. So, Twitch is better in a lot of ways, but yeah, it's got like a higher bar thing anyway. So it's one of these things of like, if you guys subscribe, it's like, I don't get that cash until it passes like 100. Which, yeah, I mean, it's Twitch basically doing that to protect themselves. Which is why Patreon works the best, because it means I get paid whatever is there, sort of thing. Okay, moving on. But I appreciate it all anyway. Absolutely do. Makes a massive difference because I'm banning a lot of stuff. I mean, the cannon was awesome. Like, I'm so happy I did get the cannon. I'm looking forward to actually using it more often, actually. But that was about $640. But that was an absolute bargain. I do need to get some better lenses, though. I think what I'm going to be doing in the near future is actually heading out to different museums. Ideally different naval sites, different air bases, that sort of stuff really. And trying to like do more stuff of that nature. Try and produce more historical content. I've really stayed away from it in the last few years, mostly because it's like I don't feel I do a good job of it, because I don't feel well informed enough. But hopefully going into education, I might be able to go into very, very, very pointed subjects, very, very small scale, basically laser focused on certain subjects where I might be able to have, well, potentially have some sort of knowledge. Okay. And that's my whinging. Okay, so we do see AGs over here. It might be that we see a AKE, potentially AKRs. AVs would be amazing. I don't know if I actually get an AV. Ah, thanks, Racer. Oh, yeah. Oh, God. See, I did a strategic command series a while ago, and it's completely demonetized because of the fact of the actual thumbnail having a picture of Adolf Hitler and the swastika, and it's like, it's just a thumbnail. It's a picture of history, dude. Oh, God. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but obviously all this debacle with Nike and basically the actual, what do you call it? Is it the Betty Rose? The flag before obviously the current flag, and it's like supposedly it's been called a symbol of hate, and it's like, what in the hell is wrong with people if they think like the actual flag of the 13 colonies is like a flag of racism? It just blows the mind. Blows the mind. Okay. So we'll move on now to our air production. So we're going down into our building, of course. I do want to take a look at the R&D. I reckon I could probably work out more information there from the R&D and actually figure out when my aircraft are going to arrive. Because if I can figure that out, that does give me a lot more work to, well, a lot more to work with. Because then at least I know what is to come. Okay. So, let's see here then. Sort by bill per month. So we can see here the Oscars are definitely up there now. 105, feeling alive. The K-21 2A Sally is increasing in terms of production. I do have 9 of them in the pool now. I'm looking forward to using these guys once again. It was a shame that we lost so many, but in reality it has taught us a harsh lesson. 73 per day. Now, I have done something as well I'm going to show you guys, and I think you'll approve of it. It was the idea of Infinite, and I do agree with him. 11 of these bad boys in the pool now. Plenty of Kates. See a few more of those Kates in the near future as well. So I do have 15 MC21 Sallys in the pool here. I do... See, I'm not producing too many here. This is in Gifu, and that's the issue, is that it's in Gifu. If it was anywhere else, I'd be able to have a few more of them by now. I suppose that is what it is. Right, the H6K 4 Mavis, obviously we have... I did have some of the pool, but I've since used them. But we are producing 1 each day, which is nice. So 365 a year, really. But yeah, we'll stick with Van as it is. I think we have chosen the correct ships. I think it does make the most sense. Aye, indeed. Okay, so I'm going to go over some of the changes that I have made, man. So first off is with the Kidabutai, which is over here. Now, which squadron was it? Carrier craft, fighters. Oh, here we go. Is it Chitose? Right, yes. Okay, so I've since filled in the actual squadron here, but for example, this squadron was filled with very good pilots, and there's still very good pilots in here. It is an issue because I've obviously like to have less experienced pilots in here, but then again, I do need these guys for the time being, so they have to remain as they are. But what I've done here then is, for example, if you guys take a look at the actual experience of the squadrons here, you can see that we do have a bit of a disparity here. These A5 M4 squadrons have more experience than the Karga and the Akagi squadron. You could upgrade one Ki-27 squadron to Ki-43 this turn, or upgrade the Ki-1... potentially so. Potentially so, actually. I think I do have a squadron I might need to fill out, but I'll have a look at that. Right, let's see. Yeah, the 1As could do with the upgrade. But the thing is, it's like... I think I'll use the 1As until destruction, really. They're not great, but they're not bad. They're certainly better than the Ki-27. The thing is, if I mean, it doesn't matter what aircraft they train in. But yeah, it's one of these, isn't it? Like, what do we want to have? Do we want to have, like, quality, or do we want to have quality, sorry, in quantity? And sometimes it is, like, a case of, well, we just need a certain quality of quantity, and then other times we'll need that quality rather than the quantity, if that makes sense. Okay, it's basically the same thing there. Right, so we can see here the Kargan and Akagi men, so 65 group average experience, 63. I will swap these around. So let's take a look at doing this. So as you can see here, we do have some very poor pilots in here. What I'm going to do here then is quickly save just so I don't mess it up. The reason is you have to do things in a certain way for them to work properly. Right, Virgo, saved it just in case, so that is my arse covered. So, we'll go into the Akagi. That's a very full carrier. So we'll take the Akagi, take the Zero Squadron here. Now, if we take a look at the pilots, obviously we can see, granted there's only one guy down here, so the actual average experience isn't too bad there. Is it Akagi I was wanting to look at? So it seems like you are really bringing down the average there. Okay. So I have 14 craft, I have 18 pilots. What I'm going to do here then is release the least experienced pilot here. He's not on retainment, Minobi. So Minobi is going to be released to the reserve. and so goes Minobi. Okay. So, yeah, the cargo has almost no torpedoes. You are correct on that. So, let's see. Come back in here. Well, there's a way. I can't remember exactly how you do it now. Yeah, there is a way to actually have them request pilots. I can't remember how you do it at the moment. I'm going to have to double check on that one there. But for the time being, that's okay. Obviously, we only have 14 aircraft. There is a way to actually get this button to show up again. I just can't remember how you bloody well do it at the moment. But if we go back and take a look. The average experience. Okay, that might take a turn to actually register. I'm going to say it'll take a turn to register now. But if we go back here, take a look at the pilots. You can see that the average experience is now 76 here, rather than the previous 63. We want the best of the best. So the cargo. Yeah, these pilots need to go. They need to go right now. The moment I can request veteran. Let's see. I'm trying to remember how to do this now. Let's see if I can get in contact with Infinite. I might have to accept it as it is for the time being. I'll leave it as is for the time being because I don't want to do this and not have the pilots. There's a way that you can do this and basically get the pilots in the squadron active immediately. But you have to do it in a particular way. Yeah, so we'll have to accept that as is for the time being. I'm really, really weakened by the fact of having less zeros. I'm going to include rest on the zeros here. Increase the amount of combat air patrol as well, actually. Now I'm going to run this at 11 hexes. I don't want to put any more fatigue on the aircraft. As you can see, these aircraft are building up a lot of fatigue pretty damn bloody quickly. So I need to put that to a stop right now. We don't have too long, really, before I'm going to have to genuinely consider taking these guys back to truck. 11 hexes is more than enough. I'm going to up the amount of combat air patrol. See, for this squadron, obviously that's 5 aircraft. Well, yeah, 10 of them are resting. 1 of them's resting. 4 of them are on combat air patrol. The rest there go out and escort. So I think what I'm going to do here then is actually increase that to 2080. That means that 80% of the squadron, so 8 of these aircraft are going to remain and protect the carriers, while 2 of them will be on rest. I think we have to do that with these solid numbers. While as over here, it's a little bit easier to play with. Fatigue isn't as bad, but you can see this is building. This means that we take more operational losses as well. So it's honestly, we can't accept it any longer. It just cannot go on. I think what I'm going to do here then is the A5M4 claws have to be primarily and exclusively used to protect the carriers. There's no other choice now. Set all A5M4s in the task force to perform this role. They're going to perform it at 5 hexes. Right, all carrier A5M4s are to protect the carriers. And only the carriers. We'll definitely address this in the near future. The issue is the Kitapatai She's still dangerous, but she's flawed at the moment. We definitely need more zeros. We will receive them in the near future, but it's a good thing that we aren't engaged in carry-on combat at the moment, because we are flawed. We are weaker in this position than we were at the start. Not just in pilot experience, but in terms of pilot fatigue. We need to take on many reserves. We need to just have as many zeros here. You said the A5 falls to 1 hex. Did I? Oh, I did, didn't I? My bad there. Well spotted. So it does make me wonder, is it even worthwhile? Not particularly even using a drop tanks. What is? It's not going to do anything for me. 3 hexes is fine. They're set on combat air patrol anyhow, so it doesn't even matter. So A5 and 4s to this, yes. They do have a couple in reserve here. Can't resize, unfortunately, to bring those reserves into action. Okay. Give you that rest there. I think what I'm going to do here then is use the larger squadrons for the combat air patrol and the escort, and then the small squadrons could be potentially left behind to look after the carriers. I don't need much of the combat air patrol. There's no point cancelling the raid on Australia at the moment. We are capable of dealing with this. Like, we can handle Australia as it is now. I do believe he will have some fighter craft, but they're not going to be in any way... They're not in good shape to take on the Kiddibutai. Our planes are fatigued, our pilots aren't exactly fantastic, but we still have the cream of the crop in here as well. We are able to outnumber him in any local area. But we must raid Australia. If we don't raid Australia, then all the fuel usage has been for naught, and we do need to score the victory points here as well. I do need to really control this area and make sure he understands that I control this area. Okay. So, what I'm going to do here then is reduce this down to 20%. Perhaps. Granted, no. These squadrons are primarily escort. So these will all fly 20,000 feet. I'm going to alter this now too. The thing is, they're only flying the same distance as the actual aircraft they escort anyhow. So is it even worthwhile to use the drop tanks? Will you send Mutsu back to Luganville? Now, we do have the Mutsu. We'll touch on that one in the near future, but we'll get back to that shortly. We'll get back to that one shortly, sorry. Okay, what is the range of the dive bombers? We're looking about 6 here. Extended gives them, well, obviously you can't get that extended, but we're looking about 6. Yep, so 6 hexes there. We're looking at torpedo bombers. Obviously the B5 and 2Ks have greater range. So we could look at a maximum of 7 hexes. Now they're currently operating at 9 hexes here. The question is, do I stop using torpedoes? I'm going to say no, because as bad as it might seem, even if they're being used on cargo ships, I've got to maintain the fact of maximum lethality. Because we don't know if we're actually going to encounter a cargo ship or whether we're going to encounter a warship. And we can't allow for the possibility that we encounter a warship and we're only using bombs that aren't going to actually kill as such. But I'm going to reduce the range down to 6 here for the B5 and 2K, so we actually go for the maximum size of air power. So that means that the fighters do not have to use the drop tanks. And their maximum range is now 6. Well, they're running combat abattoirs, so it doesn't particularly matter. I mean, the thing is, yes, we might miss some ships. And I could potentially operate at 7 hexes. I can potentially operate at 9 hexes, in fact. But that is putting more strain on the actual aircraft. Yeah, it does, but the thing is, it's like I don't want to be... I'm not flying the Zeros without escorting something, and the rest of them are at home, guarding the carriers, really. So there's no reason to really have them operate beyond the range of the actual ships. Well, the actual other aircraft. Not that it makes a major difference. It just means that they're all working together, really. I suppose I could have it set to 11. It doesn't actually make a difference, really. I suppose I'll put it to 11. It doesn't make a difference. So I could increase it to 7 and still be using maximum lethality. We'll go for the 7 then. It does mean that we have lesser concentration, but it obviously does... I mean, this is the issue here. We might miss something, but then again... Is concentration worth more than that range? How you doing there, Raghar? See, what I'm thinking here then is potentially is better to actually... Yeah, it's like 11 hexes, so 11 hex... bear in mind, each hex is 40 nautical miles, so obviously it's 11 times 40. So it's like, what, 640 nautical miles range? Something like that. Okay. I'm going to go with 6 and stick with 6. The reason being I want to have maximum concentration of force. At least then they can operate alongside the D3A1 valves. Okay, we'll go through the actual carriers here. So, 20, and if we take a look over here then. Right, so my normal range is 7, standard is 9. With the drop tanks, the normal becomes 11 and then 14. I'll have them operate with 7 hexes. Not that it matters, but at least they do have that additional range just in case. I really don't think it makes a difference, but it'll be alright. See, as far as it goes with the 800 kilogram bomb, I'm not entirely bloody sure on that one. I wonder if it... I do wonder if it's the fact that they use the 800 kilogram bomb when they're within normal distance, but they don't have torpedoes. I'm not 100% sure on the 800 kilogram bomb one, not gonna lie. I'll double check in just a moment. Okay, so I'm looking at 80-20. I could reduce that to 70-30. That's still more aircraft on combat air patrol, well, more Zeros on combat air patrol. And they also do get that rest. So I'm gonna go with that 70-30 then. Operate at 7. And I could go... No, I'm going to go 60-40, actually. It does give them a chance to actually rest their aircraft. Okay, all the A5M4s can operate at 15,000 feet. They do have that maneuverability there at 15. I'm going to reduce that down to 70-30. I do obviously need more here. Ah, there you go. How you doing there, Infinite? Yeah, I had a question about Infinite. I'll go over it in just a second here. We'll run our carry A5M4s like this. Okay, so my question was... Let's see. So, not this one here. Actually, no, yes. So, obviously, I do have your Cargi Squadron here. I'm just wondering, how do I get this request veteran button to show up again? I know you told me last time, but I forgot already. Should be a quick one. Just can't remember exactly how you bloody well do it. I feel bad actually. We spent about an hour and we've just been talking about little things here. But worth it. Worthwhile. Totally worthwhile. Kick pilots back to reserve. All of them? Ah, right, I see. I was going to save it again just in case. Right, awesome. Okay, we'll save this again then. So pilots. So we have 14 aircraft, okay. So release the... Oh, I'm doing it to group, that's why. Okay. Good thing I saved it, otherwise that'd be quite bad. So I'll just reload the game back. Meant to have them go back to reserve. Yeah, so we'll kick these guys, back to reserves. Okay, that's fine. Just wanted to be sure, really. Ah, there we go. That's the one I was looking for. Okay. Some our fighter reserves then, let's take a look. So, release the most experience. Obviously, it'll only take as many as it can actually handle. So as you can see, we are now back up to 10 and then 8 there. So what I do here is release 10 pilots to active, and there we go. Awesome. So you now see that we have 18 pilots here. All of them are, yeah, significantly more experienced now. That's good. Yeah, these guys are very experienced. That'll be alright. In fairness, I do have more pilots than I need here. Now go 18, 18. There goes 17, 17. Yeah, I'm aware of a scroll bar. There we go. I'm going to remove these pilots from the actual squadron due to the fact that I have 18 pilots and 10 aircraft. The reason we're doing this is so basically if the carrier is lost, we don't lose all of those actual pilots as well, those extra 8. So, release 5, then 1, 2, 3. There we go, 10, 10. Did I just do this one? Yeah, I just did that one. True, true. I don't mind doing it like this for the time being. Okay, there we go. Right, now we're going. So now we can begin to plot what we shall do here. As far as I'm aware, we don't have any sightings of any enemy craft as of yet. At least not in this area for the immediate time. We did have we did supposedly see something being picked up in this area. It might have been a misidentification. Okay, so I could be well within range here to hit Brisbane, I do believe. Saying that. 7 hexes. So the question is, how do we want to approach this? So the question is now, he's actually not aware of the Kiribatai at this moment in time. So the question is, do I head to Brisbane? I could potentially do both, but what I'm considering here then is, rather than turning towards Brisbane, is to turn north. The reason being, it would probably be the lesser of the two options expected. It's not to say that we couldn't go down south, but the reason why I think potentially north is if we go up in... take a look at the map here. Okay. Let's clear the drawing tool here. Yeah, the reason why I'm thinking potentially north is, obviously Rabaul has fallen. So he's obviously got these forces here. We do see that just the north there is potentially 2 allied ships there. So what I'm thinking here then is, by potentially heading north, we ideally take him by surprise. What are you hoping to accomplish? I'm looking to sink, obviously, shipping that's accessible. But I'm looking towards actually hitting the industry here. But I do want to obviously set up operations for and against Port Moresby. And I think taking control of this area is probably higher on the agenda. That industry isn't going to go anywhere. I can accomplish partly that task while performing this task as well. But what I'm thinking here then is, he is probably going to be looking towards reinforcing Port Moresby. And I imagine that's going to be within this sort of time frame. What does he have up near Rabaul that you can kill? Don't know. Don't know. That's what I don't know about. In part, I want to actually head up this way, clear the area, if indeed there is anything here. I imagine he's probably going to be operating some sort of convoy ship in this area, perhaps. I just don't know where. Another aspect of doing this move is I could potentially then have a force move up towards the island over here. Or even potentially we could consider a landing at Rabaul. Sorry, at Port Moresby. Not that I'm too keen on that one. And this is only a consideration. The other option is, of course, we head south. So let's say we head something on this sort of path here. Now, what else could we do? So obviously we'd be raiding Brisbane. Raiding any sort of ship in this way, but I imagine he's going to be more so expecting this. So then a second move would see us hit Sydney, which I think it's this city, it's not this city, I think it's this city. So we'd hit that city. There's even a third option of moving down here and potentially hitting Melbourne too. But of course this does see me move. Let's see. Let's take, let's figure out a strike position against Melbourne and then we'll go from there. So about, yeah, let's see, about 6 hexes here. So if I take a look, 6 hexes. Yeah, so that puts us 44 hexes away from Port Moresby. 36 from Noumea. 46 from Luganville. Importantly, it does place us 66 hexes away from Truck. Obviously, we don't have to go that far south. Now, I know some of you would be thinking about a raid on Auckland, and that could be done. But we'll take a look at the other reasons as well. Places is 19 from Noumea. 54, 49, 71. So I think as far as it goes, I'm going to choose the northern path. The reason being, I can both hit Brisbane. The screen moves. There we go. So, yeah, I mean, this is it. It's like, it's not that much of a difference between Melbourne and Sydney. Obviously, there's a difference, but it's not that much of a difference. So I think I'm going to go for the, about midway path. This is the compromise path. So I could come within distance or to hit Brisbane, make my way up and around there. Now, the thing is as well, I'm at least in this sort of vicinity here of the Coral Sea. The good news is, well, another aspect of this is, of course, I do have forces that are heading back up north anyhow. At least by doing this, I do give them indirect cover, and I do become more aware of the situation here. As far as it goes for this area in terms of security once the Kidderbutai has left, I do obviously have the airfield here at Luganville. Now, the airfield at Luganville is at 60%. I do, of course, have some Ki-43s over here just to, yeah, basically just run control there. Ooh, very great. I'll come back and look at that in the future, actually. But that should be fine. I do obviously have some reserve aircraft and additional pilots. That's fine. They're running 60-40 at the moment. Though there's a fair amount of fatigue. Run 60-40, rest, and then, well, about 5. In his shoes, if you hit Australia, I'd be thinking about doing a Doolittle early, trying to wreak havoc. Yeah, see, this is what I'm thinking. I think if I go too far south, then I'm just inviting a attack. I'm inviting attack as is at the moment anyhow. So, that is a big consideration, is having the Kidderbutai in a position where they're not too far out of the action. But they'd be about as distant as they are now. And obviously they'd be moving further to the northern. I'd also then be able to consider the fact that I could actually look towards moving back to truck and taking on additional replacements for zeros, and even potentially taking on some repairs, or well, obviously the rearm. As far as it goes for repairs, yeah, I think as far as it goes for repairing of the carriers, I'm going to wait until they can upgrade, and then I'll send them back to Japan and they can upgrade while they repair. So I think that makes the most sense. But yeah, I think out of both plans, I think the northern plan does have the most merit. I think this southern plan would be the ego plan. Be nice, but I think the time for that has passed here in this time. Yeah, you're right, therefore. Yeah, just as I was saying there, the time for that has passed. The north we go. I can still achieve what I want to achieve here. And hit Brisbane. I mean, I'd be looking to hit the repair yard. I might take a look at actually running V7 here for the time being, to be honest. Okay. Let's take a look at the lay of the land, quote unquote. So if I move to this position here, I don't imagine there'd be major responses from these bases, but let's go ahead and take a look at the size of the airfields just in case. So size 3, size 1, size 1, size 2, size 4, 1, oh, 0 here actually. 3 here, 4, and then 2, 2. Yeah. There's a large airfield at Sydney. I think we take this northern route. I think something else that we do need to consider here then is not W. There we go. Turn that off. Okay, something that we do need to consider then is the actual terrain and road system, rail system. So take a look at the road system first. Okay, so we do see that there's a high density road there on the coastline. Not uniformly. However, in the south it does look to be uniform in terms of the actual road system. However, as we look to the north, it's not entirely uniform. It's certainly almost there, but not entirely. If I take a look at the rail lines, we see here that these are smaller lines. These ones here are even smaller than these lines. And that's an important aspect. If we head to the south, we see here that we have high density rail. I believe that's high density rail. I'm going to have to compare this now. Yeah, that's high density rail. So as he can move his assets up and down here sooner, I do believe. While I was over here, it is lower density rail. And then obviously there's no rail to this point over here. So as far as it goes, you'd have to fly things over here to Cooktown. It's actually rather funny. I do live near a place called Normanton. You could mine the Townsville port with subs because it's 1 hex bottle. Yeah, it's not far off, is it? I could potentially mine Palm Island. I don't know what I'd really gain from that though, but it's something to bear in mind. It's potential, isn't it, at the end of the day? Okay, so I hope you guys are behind the Northern Plan. So can I can I get some consensus in the actual group then? Who votes Southern Plan? Who votes for the Northern Plan? I have to get a bit of consensus there, just make sure I'm not making an arse of myself. North, yep. I think it's one of those where it is the right choice. It is the one that is going to lead to less, potentially, in terms of results, but more so strategically. I do think it's the right choice. North we go. I think we need to look about 2 hexes off here. Yeah, 1 more. So that's 6 hexes here. 5 from Rockhampton. Obviously further out over here. Do I increase range? I'm going to say no. It's a difference of 120 nautical miles. But I think as far as it goes, if there is something in the area that is indeed a target, it's either going to be running into port or it's going to be running away. But if it's running away, it's obviously not going to be able to make that sort of distance. The Kitabutai is slowed, but she's not slow. She's still making admirable speed. Compared to a transport ship anyhow. Yeah, so we're looking at 28 knots when it seems. 28 knots, but 28 knots is still pretty good. As that's still, we're looking at about speed of the Congo here. And she's fast. You know what I mean? She's fast. I feel a hell of a lot more confident now about this. I might even take a look at this, to be fair. Yeah, pretty much. There's a lot of fatigue there. 8. Then in this case I'm going to continue to allow that, but I will alter these settings here. No, I think we just transfer them off for the most part. Right, so we'll set all jigs to these settings. So one of these, like, obviously I'm going to take an increased amount of, like, fatigue on the craft. But I think in these sort of areas it probably is, I'd say it's justified in these areas, really, due to the fact that obviously we are in enemy waters here. Once we return to our own waters as such, I could reduce that. Hello there, Talon. How you doing there, my friend? Okay, so we have our plot. So we have our course plotted here now. Okay, so I have my ships over here. There we go. These guys are great. These guys are going to come in really handy. Perfect. Nahamakazi. Hamakazi is also going to go and join the Kiributai. Yep, so that brings the Kiributai up to 25 ships in total. I don't think they need that destroyer escort. They still have these patrol boats here. Obviously, this force heading north still has the Kinekusa, few escorts, few patrol boats, and obviously then the destroyers. No, they can continue to head north. Yeah, so the good news is, obviously, as the Knibatai heads this way, we are going to see... Just going to turn the rail off. We are going to see, obviously, this convoy being protected longer. Which is what I want to see here. I need to get some fuel moving down to Luganville. Or more than likely, probably New Caledonia. It's either New Caledonia or Luganville. Now, Luganville has... It can have a size 4 port, I believe, at maximum capacity. New Mare can have a size 6, I do believe. She is already a larger port as is. Comac 1. Okay. I suppose the question comes down to, where do I want my fuel to be? Do I want my fuel to be when I have a larger port for the time being? Or do I want it to be when it's more secure? I'm going to say more secure. The question is, do I even have it sent to Luganville? Luganville obviously being in a very dangerous position. So I suppose it is the most protected at the moment in time, isn't it? So I will have a tanker sent south to Luganville, I do believe. Good, they've just arrived. Superb. These guys have just arrived at the best time. Oh, thank you very much, Blast Bob. Really appreciate it, my friend. Okay, now the Santos Maroon. What we're going to do here now, and this is actually a tactic courtesy of Infinite here, is you see the Ansu PB class. She is able to carry 1,000 tons. So what we're going to be doing here then is running them as fast transports. Now, the reason for this is obviously she's going to load those 100 tons. Make sure she returns back to truck. She's going to load those 1,000 tons there, sorry. She's going to load those 1,000 tons. She's going to head down this way and she's going to unload those. She's going to unload those in a very nice way. Very, a very fantastic way, really. For all our purposes. But on the way, she's actually a armed freighter, really. She's a patrol boat carrying cargo, but she's still a patrol boat. So that means she actually is equipped with depth charges, she's equipped with weapon. You know what I mean? We'll take a look at the actual weaponry aboard. She's not, like, gonna slay everybody in sight, but you know what I mean? She's not gonna, like, slouch either. She has two 12cm guns there. Bear in mind, a cruiser has a caliber of 1400. She does, yeah, but she's still fine. Well, actually, no, I'll probably use a different one. I'll use a different one. I'll have to take a look at the speed, but I'll use a different one anyway. Each of the conversions has upgrade groups in the editor. They are listed in return as groups. Oh, right, I see. Right, anyway. Yeah, so she has those guns there. She obviously has the AA guns. She has the depth charges as well. So we'll send a different one rather than her. Yeah, I'm just found. Oh, that would be why, okay. Eh. In fairness, I could either have repair import taking up actual space there for the time being, or I can have them load up supplies and head to Rabaul. I mean, they don't have much in the way. I mean, one of them has a little bit of flotation damage, but systems damage is okay. That's fine. She's still fully armed. Still fully armed. That's fine. It works for me. AMC Chichichima. Yep, the Kiyosumi Maru. Now what I've gone ahead and done here is split these guys off. These are obviously Ansus as well, so they're going to return to truck actually. Yep, they're already on the way to truck. These guys suggested by Infinite is just have them head into Ponape and disband for the time being until this submarine threat has dissipated. Which works for me. How many aircraft do I have in total? 14. But I can only fly 12. Fair enough. I think we can only fly 12 anyway, so that's fine. Right, perfect candidate. Okay, Yokohama KUT2/C. She's going to be transferred to Midway. If she can indeed reach the island. She should be able to. Yep, there we go. She's transferred to Midway. The reserves... I mean, the thing is with them, I can't actually have reserves where every squadron is at the moment. But it does help out with the actual fatigue of the aircraft. Basically, once an aircraft gets to a certain level, they'll go into maintenance automatically, then the pilots will fly one of the reserve aircraft. Okay, so 2 of them were damaged on the way over. 1's operational at the moment. So we're looking at 4 days before all 3 are ready again. Plenty of aviation support here. I do need to get some supplies sent this way. Yeah, they're buggered. The hell she get that fuel from? Would I don't know. I think I was looking. I don't know. I swear she only had 1,000 endurance there. Yeah, we need fuel in the marshal. Well, not particularly. I need some fuel in the marshals, but not a huge amount. I do have the capability to move fuel now. The reason I'm not doing it is because I don't know where his carriers are at the moment. And I don't want to move anything like that high value into that area for really no gain at the moment until I have a clear idea where his carriers are. Which is, that's my feeling on it at the moment. Okay. I don't know what the hell happened to her. Grounding, like... well done. Any indications of the signal intelligence where the carriers might be? Not at the moment, not for some time. The last time we saw his carriers, or any carrier, was in this area. Then it looked as if he returned down here to Hawaii. Now, what I'm hoping to do here by having... I'm looking actually, yes, what I'm going to do here then. We do have plenty of aviation supported wake. What I'm going to do here now is take... okay. Take you. You're going to be transferred to Wake Island. Okay, so we take a look over here then. So we're now running aircraft out from Wake. You can see here that obviously Johnson is 35 hexes, but let's see. 25 hexes. Right, there we go. So basically, if there's anything in this area here, there's a potential possibility it could be picked up from Wake. Potential possibility it could be picked up from Roy Namur. Well, not in this position, but there's a position here that it can be picked up from. Could be picked on from Midway. So what I'm hoping to do here then is basically have, let's say here, yeah, so 16, 18. Yeah, Wake's gonna go and receive some supplies. She's getting lower supplies, but we've dispatched a ship. She's gonna be receiving them in the near future. I'll see what else I could have in the vicinity to send there. Issue is I'm not too keen to send anything from this area due to the submarine threat at the moment. Damn, she's close. I do have some over here actually, so when they do arrive back in port, tell them to automatically disband actually. Tell them to disband. Then what I'll do is actually have them load up some supply and send some to the Wake Island and elsewhere. Thing is, I don't really have anywhere near enough supplies here at Funafuti to do anything. So what I'd like to do then is have one of those supply ships or 2 supply ships dispatched down here so I can begin building a airfield here. I only need a size 1 airfield. What I want to do is basically have the ability to move in between these islands. They're going to continue to head north. Now, these forces over here remain in position. Unfortunately, I can't manually split you up, but we'll hope to do that. Our forces are moving here. In good order. Actually, I don't think it matters for this one, does it? I choose one of the best. Nagashima. Minagishi. Yoda. Yeah, there we go. So, by doing that, we'll have superior leaders here. We are making very, very good progress. We may arrive at Numea next turn. Maybe. The good thing about that is, basically, if we, I do hope we arrive next time, because that will be very quick, be very nice, very speedy. I'm going to be looking at moving supplies onto Comac, basically have those supplies filtered down the island to Numea. Take a look here, you can see obviously I do control that roadway. Yes, we'll have those supplies make their way down to Numea. There's some extra supplies at Comac, which is nice. Obviously our dudes in Comac aren't using as many at the moment, so that's fine. But we will be quite hungry. There's a lot of requirement there. I mean, to be honest, what we'll be doing then is, once we do arrive at Numea, is I'm going to be bombarding only with the artillery. But I'm not going to use the mortars. I don't think they really have the range to do that. But the actual field artillery regiments will bombard. We'll see. I just want to get a general idea of how strong his forces are. I mean, as far as it goes for Numea, I think he might have something in the region of level 2, level 3 fortifications, something about that sort of nature. I don't have a independent engineer regiment down here, so I don't have that sort of capability. But I could, if I need it, potentially get it here. I don't think I will. I'm happy to take my time on this one. We'll grind him down. Try and figure out what his supply situation is. I don't know what it is. We did see ships coming and going from here, so perhaps he has reinforced it with supply. And we have plenty of supplies left on the ships. I might increase the amount actually being sent back. At the moment, this would be carrying 8,928 tons. What I'll do is I'm going to leave that as it is. If I need any additional supplies, I could always have some ferried from Luganville or ferried from elsewhere. But I think near enough, yeah, it's just shy of 9,000 tons. I think that's enough for quite a few days of sustained combat. I don't think Numea could take that. I think what we'll do then is basically bombard. Force him to use his own supplies. Obviously, he's not going to receive any additional supplies, whilst we will. So we'll feel out the situation. If more supplies are required, then I can do that. But I think near enough 9,000 tons should be sufficient for the task at hand, with the capability to get more supplies on the island if needs be. Also need more supplies around here. Rabaul at the moment has 1688. Obviously these men are now resting, so they're not going to be using as much. But I do need more here. This force over here is the Mutsu. So I do have a port capacity of 3 there. Okay, what I'm going to do here then is cargo. Are they on amphibious? Yeah, they're on amphibious, aren't they? I'll have the Mutsuki class escort these ships directly. But they are to head now to Rabaul, the reason being I can have them disband once they do arrive. Now that does leave me with the Mutsu, Aoba, and 3 destroyers. Which is still a formidable force, don't get me wrong. I'm going to have them go to patrol Rabaul. Remain at Rabaul, normal threat threshold. No max reaction. Home port is Rabaul. You will return to Rabaul. Basically, they're going to head to Rabaul, and the reason for that is I do have the port there. I have the port, I can also move and protect my own ships. I'm going to be in surface combat mode. I could move around, but the thing is I'm wasting time there. I'm wasting fuel. As far as I'm aware, there's 2 ships over here. We are able to actually run our reconnaissance in this area too, and help to vector in the actual attack craft down this way. So that's something to bear in mind. These ships over here, I would definitely consider this, but the thing is, I'm not confident of sending them into battle if they're not fully armed. They don't have a full stock of munitions, so I don't think it's particularly worthwhile at the moment. But the Mutsu is armed, and she will be headed down that way. It is 2 ships as far as I can tell. But unless he's significantly lucky, I don't think he'll be able to take on the Mutsu. I mean, she is quite the war machine. We haven't detected any mines at Rabaul. And as far from the best of my knowledge, there's no mines here. I mean, like, for example, Comac, we can see the indicator there to indicate that there are mines, but as it goes for Rabaul, I don't have that. So, as far as I'm aware, Rabaul isn't mined. Not going on a direct. No, I'm not going to go for the direct there spell. The reason being, and welcome by the way, Spell. The reason being, I don't know what the threat is. I don't have a huge amount of escorts, and I don't know what the threat is. I don't want to leave my ships unattended either. 2 destroyers isn't that much of an escort, especially if it's warships are coming after them. And those are important ships, they are carrying important cargo. It needs to arrive. I mean, they won't really be able to disband if they've got troops aboard, but... Comme ça, comme ça. So what I'll do then is, in fact, follow... I'll set them to react within 1 hex. They are allowed to retire, but they will follow that force. He's a very able commander. And they'll return to their home port anyhow, which is now Rabaul, so I think that's the best move I can make. These guys obviously to return. I can dispatch some destroyers over the time being. Fabuka using the 12.7s. 12.7s. That works for me. If it's coming out of Sumatra area, it's probably Exeter at most or some Brit or Dutch light cruiser. Yeah, I mean, this is why I'm sending an increased amount of ships down as well. I don't want to do that and slow them down, in fact. They're going to head to Rabaul. And that's a fairly deadly force. Low ammunitions though, at least half of them are. But we do have near enough. So torpedoes don't matter anyhow. So 60, yeah, 67 knight, 67, 68, 67. Yes, we're looking at about 67%, well, 67 experience on average at night. So they only perform slightly better in the daytime. With that, of course, they grew into the hostile fleet. Do you have some ammo? Those cruisers are heading north. It's only the destroyers that are heading south. Yeah, those guys are heading straight north. There is some ammunition left aboard the heavy cruisers. We do have a pretty much 100% load of torpedoes. So at the end of the day, if you want to get into that sort of battle, we do have that capability. We do have munitions there, though not too much. But in reality, I have a precious cargo I'm not willing to risk. And that would be the Shinshu as well as obviously the supply here. Yeah, I think this is the best I can really do there. Also, we do have the actual aircraft flying south as well, that are covering that area. So I think it is going to be definitely quite the kill zone here, ideally. Okay, now you guys are going to be quite thankful, as we are pretty much done with this area now. As they still patrolling around here. Nothing sighted off of Palmyra as at this moment. Submarines are heading south now to New Zealand. Trying to interdict the sea lanes there. Half of them are low on ammo, the other half aren't. The thing is, like, yes, they are low in munitions, but they do have enough munitions to actually persecute a battle. They will, of course, retreat as well, but the thing is, they have their full torpedo complement. It's, like, if it's actually a heavy cruiser or something like that, the destroy guns ain't gonna matter shit anyway. Like, they could do some damage, but they're not gonna kill it. Like, I don't know, maybe after some time they could do some damage and potentially take it out. But depending on what it is the torpedoes are going to be doing the damage there. So I'm looking to send some destroyers south and hope for a night engagement. At night I could get in close there and use that limited munitions and limited torpedoes. Well, those torpedoes against the enemy. But those are very good, well, it's a very good class of destroyer, so I think they should be okay. Experience is very good too. But we always do have... I mean, the thing is as well, obviously we do have the flight of naval bombers. We do have like something like, what, 100 naval bombers in the area? Take a look. Yeah, there's 116 naval bombers in the area that are running. That are going to be out of here tonight. Well, tonight or tomorrow. So I think that should run. We do also have another 21 or 27 that are flying here as well. So we're looking at, what, 100, 120, 130, 140 or something, I don't know. Something like that in that sort of region, obviously including these guys as well. So we're looking at quite a few naval bombers in this area. Which I'm hoping are going to be the guys to pick him off. I think in reality, he sent his ships to their doom here. And I think that is that. Weather is overcast, so we'll have to hope for the best. At the moment, the weather over them is clear. I'm hoping that'll last. We shall see. In this area, we are still continuing to patrol here. These men are going to march to this base here, just south of Kagayan. I do have APDs moving here. I might have them move around. You're going to move into here. I mean, I might even have them land, you know. But I don't think that'd do me any good. Yeah, they can land here, reform that unit, then we can go on to take Tacloban and pacify the island of Samar and Leyte. That makes sense. I do have a large force over here. That one is, of course, heading for Babal Dawab. It's more so I'm looking towards having like a few surface forces dotted around the Empire's interior lines, around important bases, and to make sure that I do have surface units to support actions where I need them. Okay, you are to return to Saigon. Expanding the size of the airfield now. We're going to be making more use of this airfield over here at Marie shortly. That's a fair amount of engineers. It's a fair amount of AA as well. I don't think she can carry fuel, actually. Okay, continue to unload. I'm going to say remain here, though. Okay, fair enough. But at the end of the day, 300 fuelers are going to make a difference at this point in time. I'd rather just get them back over here so I can make use of them. We'll have tankers do that. I understand V-point there. It's like one of those of like, well, every little helps, but that little's still going to be there when we come for it in the future. I'd rather carry it in a more efficient manner. I want that back there so she's safe. I want that destroyed back there so I can make use of her elsewhere, really. Okay, now let's take a look. "62nd Sentai is going to be shifted over here to Miri. Now I'm going to take a look at how many aircraft we can hold here. It's fine for. I know what you're saying, mate, but it's just one of these things of like, it's not going to make that much difference. It's like, unless I'm taking it to Japan, it doesn't really make that much difference. It's like, sure, I could take it to Saigon to fuel some of the industry there, but the industry there is fine. It's not so much the industry in the outer empire that matters, it's really only the actual inner empire, like the actual home islands that matter. Need to get control over the overall Java area. Yeah, indeed. I mean, what we're going to be doing now is actually transferring some pilots, well, some aircraft down this way to Miri. We're going to begin the bombing operations against Sinkwang. Okay, plenty of room here. Good, we are building up our reconnaissance here. Looks like he has no bombers, sorry, fighters, but he does have plenty of bombers and auxiliaries. So I think this is the best way I can make use of my actual air force, really. I know he has fighters down to the south and they'll probably be transferred over. But for now, they're not. And for now, while the cats are away, they might shall play. I think I'll transfer another squadron as well. And then a squadron of zeros. We could go in at 10,000 feet. Or, let's see. 22 guns there. I reckon we could probably go lower. I think the first time has to be very much on the ball. So what do you guys think then? Do we go down to 6,000 feet? Do we go to 5,000 feet? I think we can go low due to the fact that he isn't going to be expecting this. We're also going to have it covered by 4050, so that's a lot of aircraft. We always do have a lot of aviation support here. We're close to the actual airfield. We do have AA guns protecting us and plenty of aviation support, really. I think it very much depends on what sort of AA you might have. I don't know really. It is Dutch. I don't know what they could be using. Anti-aircraft weapons. See, it doesn't show me the nation here. We'll take a look down this way. If I make 8,000, I'm out of range of pretty much 20mm guns, all these smaller ones. I don't think he'll have that, but it might not be a bad idea to be prepared. Yeah, probably some AMGs. I think I'm being too cautious there. I reckon we could probably go low. So we'll go ahead and just take a look at the AMG sort of like ceiling. So, let's see. I think I'll go about 7,000 feet. That puts us out of range of 20mm guns. Assuming, yeah, I think 7,000 feet. I think that's probably about right. It puts us out of range of 20mm AA guns if he has them. But we're still much lower than we normally would be. So we are targeting the airbase there. Send all KO-21 2As to target that area. The good news is we actually do have really nice detection over the base. I could send more Sullys. I mean, we only have one more squadron left, to be honest. Bloody well doesn't hurt, does it? Fuck it. Might as well make it painful on him. Well, typical. As soon as I do that, oh, okay. Might be because they were actually on train, but that's okay. Sure be able to manage. The airfield's expanding shortly anyhow. What I'll do here is divide this unit. Should have divided it over there when I was actually there, but oops. Yeah, we could. I'm not going to give them to them there at the moment, though. Not yet. Oh, bugger, I'll send the entire thing, but I'm going to send it in 3 different parts. I should have just had them do it split when they were already there. So looking 24 miles there. Yeah, sure, we'll take a look at that shortly. Hmm. I think I might have these men sent to Kotobaru actually. But then again, every weapon is going to help down here. I was thinking I could potentially have them land down here at Sinkawang or something of that nature actually. But then again, I did, yeah, no, we'll keep them heading this way. Okay, so we'll have 143rd, more or less arrive at the same time as these other forces from Sing, so that's okay. Begin loading them back up next turn. Okay, they're going to remain in that position. I mean, it's one of these things I could move, but I'll keep them there. It does, in fact, block that roadway and rail lines, that's fine. These forces are moving okay. I'm going to make a decision when we reach this area here as to whether we continue to move on Lu Chao or whether we move on Quaylin, or whether we move down south or whether we move away. But we'll see. I'm going to wait till we get here and see what the situation is. Okay, over here. Only the artillery is going to bombard. There we go. The reason is obviously these guns should outrange that of the enemy. We'll reinforce the attack on Changsha. They're going to make their way to the north. So that's another change I made here, is I've moved these H6K4s to this area. Okay. So we're going to see now H6K4s here at Midway. Sorry, at Midway and Wake. And then over here. What I'm going to be looking towards doing then is having H6K4s move over here. The good news is I'm actually building up that airfield. That's excellent. Yeah. Busy little beavers, actually. Busy little beavers. The good news about that is basically once we have that set up and actually working, it does mean that we are going to have this stretch of ocean here. We'll be able to cover it all. Not perfectly, but we'll be able to cover it. So that means that there is theoretically a chance that anywhere, well, anyway along that sort of like trip, that we might be able to actually pick them up, like pick up any enemy force there, which makes a massive difference. And I think that is the solution to our worries, because once we get those H6K4s in place, as they are pretty much kind of now, we'll keep them running, keep it operational, and we'll be aware. And see, the beauty of this is now, if he does consider moving that way, we'll know about it. And knowing is about 50% way there to actually defeat and hit. So the thing is, it's like, he might be able to move up that way, but then I'd be able to actually just move assets to actually, yeah, move assets out of the way and move actual air assets over here to greet him. Oh, another change I made, by the way, is this K-27B Squadron, the 84th Sentai. They used to be, is it this one? Yeah, I believe it. No, it's in Cameron Bay. There we go. The Yamada detachment first used to be zeros, but what I've done basically here is I've had them placed in K-27s, and the reason being, I need more zeros. So what I've done is I've downgraded them to K-27s because I have plenty of these in reserve. And what we're going to do here then is basically train, escort, yep, there we go, 25 feet, yep, there we go, turn that off, there we go. So, over the course of the next few days, we'll see another 18 A6M2 zeros feed back into the system, which is good because that means that by the time then that the Kiribu type could potentially arrive back at Truck or any of the other islands where she might be able to take on replacements, there'll be more zeros available, which is good news. I don't need that many zeros over this way. That's completely pointless. Overstacked here at the moment, but I'll sort that out. We do have just the one attack here, actually. The song name. So, I've got a mix of Hard Survive 3 and a Hard Survive 2 in here. We'll take a look at that one just in a few moments here. Right, okay. What's range? 9. Escort. All fighters. Yeah, I know, it's really good though, isn't it? Like, honestly, it actually is, I think, one of the best tracks. Okay. Yeah, it really does. Okay, this squadron over here. So as of the moment, I don't have any... Oh, this is a 1B, right. Okay. Forces making their way to Bataan. Man, it's just such a good soundtrack. Okay. The squadron in Bangkok. 29 available, but I can't upgrade them here. So... what I'll do then is have them flown into Kamran Bay. Make sure I can actually upgrade here. Well, I can actually, of course I can. Actually, let's take a look at our other squadrons here at the moment. Make sure they have enough aircraft. So fill that squadron there. Okay. Right, so what I'll do then is once I do have enough here to cover the 38, then we'll do that. And upgrade this squadron. Gonna send another 2 destroyers to the north there. Okay. So go ahead and take a look at the engine production as promised. Let's just quickly take a look here then. So the KIs. So the Mitsubishi Ha-32. So 0 in the pool at the moment. Yeah, that's the issue. Obviously there's a big usage. But once we do replace all the planes that we did lose them, we'll begin to stockpile them again. There we go. Right, just stop the expansion of the airfield for the time being. The reason being I want to make sure all that supply goes into the actual R&D facilities at the moment. Once we get over 10,000, that's fine. But not now. Okay. I think with that, guys, I think we're done. I think we're done. Patrolling around here. just quickly alter that. Is there a pool for airframes without engines? Yeah. Oh, without engines. See, the thing is, I'm only producing these aircraft, and these aircraft are the ones I'm producing engines for, so there might have been. I do have loads of engines for KI-27s, but obviously I'm not producing any more KI-27s, but we still have fuckloads of engines. There's an argument of maybe we should have carried on producing KI-27s just to make sure we actually do have them. But, meh. Oh dear. What should we name the turn? That's a good question. I'm gonna go with a nice one. I think it's kind of cool. I will just save the game here just before the end. Just to make sure that in the off chance that everything goes tits up, we could always come back. But I've got a name in mind. I think that was quite nice. Storm clouds over the Pacific. I think it's elegant. It's also named after the book I'm reading at the moment. Yeah, so at the moment it's a lovely hardback as well. It's the first in a volume of 3, but I'm currently reading War in the Far East, Storm Clouds over the Pacific 1931 to 1941 by Peter Harmson. Now the blurb on this book. This book is the first volume in a trilogy that will offer a more complete account of the Pacific War more than any previously published. While keeping a focus on the decade leading up to Pearl Harbor, Storm Clouds of the Pacific goes back centuries to some of the origins of enmity between Japan and China, and trace the deep animosities that drove the immensely destructive war of the Asia-Pacific, exploring the love-hate relationship between East Asia's two older civilizations conditioned by shifting geopolitical winds. There we go. So obviously that's the first volume. I'm actually not sponsored, but maybe if they do want to sponsor me, that'd be nice. And if you'd like to have me read more books, then consider becoming my own sponsor, becoming a patron. Very much helpful. But there we go, Storm Clouds on the Pacific. Superb. I think it's been a very good session. I think this has been one of the best sessions. I think we've made some really good... Yeah, I think we made some very good decisions. I think we're going to see a lot now change, and I think we do have better pilots, so we'll be taking a look across the Empire, really looking where we can make these improvements. But I think we're looking solid. Noumea may be reached tomorrow, maybe the day after. I'm going to say at least 2 days, at best 1 day. But I predict the fall of Noumea, I think maybe about a week. Depends really on how bad the situation is for us. We'll get there, begin bombarding, and then just really tire him out. But I'm going to use just the actual field artillery regiments, and just outrange him, really. I mean, what's it going to matter in the end of everything he moved there? All the effort he went through to protect it, and then it'll fall. And when it falls, it's going to fall big, because it's not just going to be the only island that falls. Rabaul is gone. Moresby will join it in the near future. And then I'm going to be very seriously looking now in the coming days. I'm going to be very seriously looking at what I can actually spare to send and land at Fiji. It may very well be that we take a look at the situation with the Kiributai. I mean, the Kiributai is actually moving up north, so we'll get a look at Port Moresby. We'll take a look at Port Moresby, get an idea of his strength of defences at Moresby, and then make a decision. Yeah, indeed. Thank you very much, therefore. Thank you, everybody, for the views. Thank you very much for watching, sorry. God damn, I'm getting tongue-tied. Thank you so very much there, guys. It genuinely is a humbling experience doing this. And you know what? We've been doing this since last September. Incredible, really. You could enjoy Optimistic. We had a very interesting early session. Very much looking forward to it. So, with that, good night and God bless, guys. See you all very soon in the future, and happy Independence Day to those Americans out there. Have a beautiful day. Goodbye, guys.